morning, guys. Welcome to the Trailhead YouTube channel. Today we have some of the suggestion for all of you guys to know something else. First of all, I would like to start with what we call before we start to go riding mountain bike in the forest. So we have to know our bike is going to be in the good condition or not. That's why we gonna have some information about the bike check. This is what we say, the M check. So we start from, why do we say M check? We just easy function is we gonna draw the M. We're gonna put the M alphabet on the bicycle like this. And yeah, but if you go the other way around, like the other direction, you start from that, you go down like this, and this will make you see all part of the bicycle, and then means the bike will get ready to go in the jungle. Okay, but I prefer to do from the front part of the bike, from the front wheel all over to the back wheel. So the first thing you need to see on the bicycle is the tire. So just in case if you don't have any digital gauge, anything to say what exactly number you get used to. This is the case if you're going to somewhere else, if you borrow some of the bike from friends, or like very first new bike of yours as well. So that's why you need to know all the things is what you get used to. So the tires, if you don't have anything in your hands, it's just good to see on your thumb or on your fingers to check. And if I have to ride this bike, I would say this tires pressure is just a bit too soft, and I would just pump up a little bit. I have hand pumps and foot pump in my car, so this is the way to check. It's easy to remember if you think you press these tires down and you're feeling like you pressing the orange, which is quite okay. But if you're feeling you press the apple with this thing, and then you're gonna feel this is too hard, means you're gonna blow out the air a little bit. Just open the valve cap here and just blow out the air. It's just good for the traction as well. And then you come up for this center part, you will see the released one. And now the trend of the bike, like technology that people make, the company make all get the through axle. We just check it's just not coming loose. If it coming quite easy to unlock like this, to release it out quick. But doesn't mean the wheel will come off easily, but you're gonna feel part of the play a little bit on your wheel, on your front hub bearing. That's why you just need to make sure you screw good position, or otherwise if you like position of the lever to hold it in the other side, and that's the one you can just turn at the other side. It's just the other part of the bike. So you just make sure it's locked tight properly. And for this part, you close up, you have the brake rotor, which is the brake rotor. Will see, you can see what some part of the worn out a little bit, or the brake pads. So the brake pads you can look through from these, or you can dip the bike a bit and spin the wheel. If you hear some of the resistance on bike, which is not that not very good to ride, you need to like screw out here to see the center of the rotor in the caliper. Check the brake pads, you still got pads a lot or not to ride it. Okay, that's good. What the next step, guys, is the setting. So if you see with this fork, you have this bike. This is the Trails bike, the YT Gypsy. They coming with the rock chalk pike. The pike will make 150 mils travel. So this is the thing you need to see. They will see on the number, which is 30, 20, and 10%. So for me, I rather go with these like 25 to 30% sack. But how can you set it up if you don't have anyone to help to squeeze, like, which is the second person will go like this, right? And you just bounce the bike on the bars and like throw all of your weights, you carry all of bags and helmet, like your position, your gears is on your body, will get ready to go, which is mean all weight should be on the bike. But if you have no one, my techniques, it's just kind of the personal techniques, is not everyone have to use it. Like mine, you just try to place the thing like this and just try to grab your front brake and press your shoulder down a little bit I'm not very saying 100% all of my weight will go on the front fork, but at least it would just about right for me. And my fork will go up to like 28, maybe 28 to 28%, which is just about right for me. I like to get a little bit firmer on my style because it's just in case you guys do some jumps, hit something else, some obstacle by accident. At least I would have part of the space for this. I don't like to hit kind of the bottom out on my fork a lot. Also the rear one, this is what we need to talk about that next. And when you come up to this part, you will see the charger. There's some kind of fork, they say a little bit different things. It's just compression just to make it firm, which is good for climbing. But sometimes I rather play not to compress, like turn this a lot, just in case when sometimes people goes down and they forget to turn it out, like to do unlock position, and they get very firm position on the downhill technical section will get your hands, your shoulder get very sore. That's why most of fun play, I rather go just like make it soft all the time. So we just yeah, I'm sorry for the gap, for the sag. If you think it's just too much air or it's just too loose, you just open the valve here to just to pump up or release the air out. But otherwise you need to use the choke pump. Okay, also choke pump is what you need to bring at the moment. So when you come up to this position, we see the setup, the handlebar, which is just about good position because we tied it up, no gap. Okay, there's some brand they have no gap right the bottom screw, but the top screw of this model, the Affect Red Space, we suggest to do no gap with this, but you can untie it up just to make your bar ankle backward or forward, because they make quite a lot of back sweep and the rise. I think it's about 20-25 degrees of the rise up. Okay, and you can set up this, and on handlebar you have which is brakes. Normally in Thailand we use the front brake is on the left hand side, but on my right is the rear. Because some countries the people will use the front is on the right hand side, and this is what the next step I will talk about that. And my brakes lever, you can see this quite a bit loose, not super loose, but it's quite good. It's just in case if you hit something and like the lever will turn up like this, and just avoid the broken parts. Okay, just to protect your brakes. And of course while you're riding, if you make it too loose, the lever will come out like getting very slight, like getting low and low, which is not that good. Sometimes your position needs to be in the good position all the time, but not too tight. If you hit the trees, if you have the crash and you break the lever screw here, all of this part. And for the reach, you can readjust it to make it like the reach is going like further out or in to make it your position, or you just screw here to make your fingers position, which is people get used to with 2 fingers or 1 finger. But if the people question on me, I will just try to tell them to use 1 finger. It is this is better to have the grip. You can see with my tiny finger, which is very good grip on the bars. But if you use 2 means you get this less pressure on your handlebar. It's not a good position to do that. Okay, but if you get used to with 2 fingers, which is okay. Okay, and the shifter, you just need to check it out. It is going to be good. Like otherwise, the shifter you need to try while you're riding bike. Okay, and you come up on my left, you will see the remote. The RockShox remote, they make very good position to make the seat to goes up and down just easily. Like you press this and you sit on your saddle down, and just will make the saddle lower, which is good position to go downhill. And then if you press up for climbing, it just rates up. Okay, this the volume here, you don't have to adjust it a lot. It's just to make the speed of the drop post will make like bounce up a bit slower or faster. But for me, I like very quick response. Like I would turn up on all the way right, which is good to make faster, because I like the sound, aggressive sound. And the front brake is on the left. Okay, also the lever, you can do adjustment like the screw here to make a bit kind of loose or tight, however you want. Okay, this is the handlebar. Okay, that's good. Okay guys, the next step is the suspension for the rear one. It's on the rear suspension, you have the rebound. It's on this model, the Gypsy has rebound. Okay, also the air pressure valve here. The valve just see what's the compressor, like the PSI. But you will see the maximum of the PSI was a 375, which is quite a lot. So normally for example, my weight, I will do 100 to 120 PSI. But if I'm riding this one, I will pump up to 150, 160 PSI because I like to make firm a little bit. One of the things I like the firm, the reason because Gypsy, the trails bike, when you go quite very speedy or when you go quite very fast, so you go over the lock or jumps and do some kind of drops, the trails bike is quite easy to get to the bottom out. When I'm riding, it's on my pressure, it's just mainly my shot will go like this position. That's why I will try to make it firm. At least I will have the space like this quite a lot. And I'm just because I do lots of hardtail riding, that's why I prefer to get it firm. Okay, the suspension in the rear was just good. Then you come up to this part. It used to be the front derailleur before, but we just put the single chain ring on. Now is the bike, it will become 1/11. Okay, this is nice to have 1/11. It's just less function in the front. It's just easy because the front chain ring, which is run by the Shimano Alex. We use a 32 teeth. It's just about right for climbing as well. Okay, make sure the chain and the thing is just on the proper position. You do a little bit of checking with this crank arm. If the crank arm is just quite loose, you will feel it on your hands. You might need to replace the bottom bracket. Okay, for this part, and then you come up to the dropper post. This is what I already did some explain about the remote on your hands lever, just to make lower higher. But the other thing you can do adjustment is the rail. The seat rail here, you just unscrew here to make, but okay, right on the top of this you have the valve to fill up the tank right inside the system here. But you don't have to do that. This is mainly we put all of that already. But the rails depends on the rider, like how tall your body, how long your arms. You just slide the rails a little bit backward or go forward for your shutter body. Okay. Then when you come up to the last part of the bike, you will see, okay, the tire. Now all of our bike, we use this model of the tires, the V tire, the flow snap. It's just very good traction. Okay, that's what I use for competition as well. So the rear part of the bike, you have the rear cassette, just what they call a cassette, and make sure you just check the teeth and let's see how gap and how free for the free hub, for the free wheel. You can do kind of a bit of spinning, and it was spinning not too much feeling on your hand, just as good to ride. And when you come up to the back, the rear derailleur, we also use the SLX. Some of the bike use the Shimano XT. You also have the clutch function on the thread on Shimano. Sorry, the Shimano has the clutch just to turn on. On will make like tighten the arm of the derailleur. Okay, which is this part of the derailleur will make it stiff, make it firm. So it means, which is very good when you go over bumps or do some jumps. This is like jumping on the chain. But if you do a lot with this position, and this is quite loose, this is quite very bouncing on chain. Sometimes it happens, chain will fall out from the front chain ring as well. But that's why when you do off-road, it's just a bit, it's just much better idea to lock it up. Just you turn to the on function, but the problem is the shifter will get a little bit stiff when you shift on your hands, but this will work properly. It's less problem with chain keep falling off the front chain ring, which is better. Also the air pressure with this part of the bike, you just can press on your thumb again, on your hands again. At the other side of the wheel, on the left side of the wheel, you also have the brake pads. You see, when you look through from the top, you will see how much pads left, and it's going to be good to ride for today or not. Otherwise this is better ideas as well to bring your the spare part of the brake pads. Okay, this is in the next step how to change the brake pads. We're gonna say that again. All right, means this bike which is good to ride. Okay, if you're ready, you just put your helmet on. Don't forget, please. Okay, always wear your helmet. And if you come into our Trailhead shop, we're gonna give you all of the equipment, knee pads, elbow pads, everything. And which is the next day, we're gonna show you what do we providing for all of the gears we have for you. This is safety equipment. Okay, thanks a lot, guys, for watching. See you.